What is up, tribe? All right, so today I want to talk about anxiety, stress, uh, disconnection, unmotivation. Ugh, these are things that a lot of people suffer from these days. And a lot of it does come from a sense of disconnection. So, and I really think that part of what creates this kind of negative energy is seeking external validation, overstimulating your dopamine, hitting that dopamine button. It's an addiction that we have in today's society, and especially with, cell phones. Most of the crap we do is for a dopamine hit. We are constantly kind of living in the future, like go, go, go. What's next? What's next? I have to do this chore. I've got to do this thing. And then, at the end of the day, what are you left thinking about? What do I got to do tomorrow? So that constant living, in what's next. And then next thing you know, your life is passing you by. And there's an emptiness in that. There's a discomfort in that. We are moving way too fast, and we think that, we need to do this thing or say this thing or be this thing or get this thing to make us happier. And that's really not what's going to do it. There's a lot of people that have lots of things, like beautiful wife, lots of money, and like really nice car, and are still really miserable. So it's not about that. To create happiness in your life and eliminate that depression, anxiety, disconnection, and it's people start to get unmotivated with all of this stuff too. And anxiety is a feeling of powerlessness. Basically, it's fear of the unknown. It's fear of being able to control this and that and the other thing, and not knowing what's going to happen. Anxiety is your body trying to tell you that you're not aligned with your intuition. You're too much in the head and too much worried about trying to control this or that, instead of feeling into your intuition and going with the flow. So that's huge. Some of the things that I recommend, actually, I always recommend meditation. And if meditation is difficult for you, start small. Do easy little breathing exercises for 5 minutes here and there, in the morning, at night. And then gradually, as you start to feel into it and it starts to improve your life, you add more time. I mean, I never thought I would meditate for an hour and a half, and I do that all the time now. So, just start somewhere. And really embrace the mystery of life. It's kind of what makes life exciting. It'd be pretty boring if we knew how everything was going to go, really. So embrace the mystery and embrace the surprises that come up, whether they're good or bad. That is life. Let go of that control of how that's going to work out, and just be like, okay, that this is a part of my life. And I do feel like the more you're accepting of what is and going with the flow, you're creating less resistance. And when you're creating less resistance, you're actually creating, you're manifesting a better life. So when you're creating the resistance, you start to manifest more of those troubles, more of those worries, more of those problems, more of that tension. And, because if your mind is stuck in that loop of worry, do, that's going to be your existence. It's the existence that you will create. So I do recommend doing maybe like a dopamine fast. I recommend getting really into doing something creative, whether it's doing art, if you like to play an instrument, music, sing, anything that really pulls the creativity out of you and provokes a feeling. Maybe you like to write, whether it's poetry or write a book, or, you know, come up, like, instead of doing the storytelling in your head, write down an interesting story. Find times to play. Playing with animals and children are great, because where they're at in terms of their innocence and their beingness, that's what you want to interact with. That's going to pull you more into like your original state of being. They'll help you put yourself into a higher vibration. And really having all these moments of figuring out ways to get into the body and doing meditations. I will put a link below as well. I've done a couple other videos that are related to this. So I'll put in 3 videos that talk about getting into the body, or talk about alchemizing your pain, or just getting more into the state of love, and also healing your inner child. And that will help with all these things, the anxiety, stress, disconnection. Because really connecting with yourself first, finding that connection within, is going to help a lot when it comes to that sense of connection. Because you get a connection with yourself, then with spirit, and then it starts to become easier to connect with other people. So that's kind of the way to go. Go in to go out, and then you'll find more connection with the planet, the people around you. Find ways of getting laughter. Laughter, I think, is one of the best medicine that we can. It does wonders for our bodies. So if there's anything that makes you laugh, just find what that is. Go out to a comedy club or something. And you know, when it comes to goals, do small goals, like creating little checklists of little things that are doable for that day, that aren't huge goals, and actually check them off physically and have that completed checklist. It will give you like a sense of accomplishment. So that will help relieve some of the anxiety or feeling unmotivated. And then you're doing little things to kind of ease the mind. Giving little tidbits to your ego, I guess. And never shame your ego. Your ego just needs to be, you just need to keep an eye on your ego. That's really, really all you need to do with that. We also are lacking in touch. Most humans don't get the amount of touch that we need in a day. If you have people that you can hug, do it as often as possible. Like, go out and hug people. For me, every morning, I take at least 5 minutes to snuggle and kiss with my dog. And I always take time throughout the day to play with her and have that interaction with her. And that's very healthy. Although I probably need to have some more physical contact with human beings, because I am a little bit of an isolator. Working on it. But I do know how healthy that is for the mind, body, and spirit. So when you can, get that touch. Even if you have to touch yourself, touching your heart space. So putting your hand over your heart space during meditation, just to kind of like tap into that area, tap into that feeling. There is a little bit of a trigger that happens with the brain. So something simple like that. And once you kind of get this connection with yourself, get more into the body, get a little more out of the head, let go a little bit more. Then socializing and playing with other people, getting connection, that's going to relieve that feeling of disconnect, and that's going to relieve feeling unmotivated. That's going to relieve the anxiety, depression. So yes, this is my advice for when you're feeling anxiety, stress. Stress is a monster. Anxiety is a monster. And I used to have panic attacks. My panic attacks went away when I started to actually talk to other people and be open about all the things that I've experienced in my life. And I still struggle with anxiety from time to time, but when it pops up, and now it's popping up because I'm healing all these things. So it'll pop up with like really old stuff that's kind of coming up. And it's interesting because now I just kind of observe it and go, and then I let it kind of run through and process. And with less resistance, it's so much easier, and it goes through faster, and then it goes away, as opposed to like gripping onto it for long periods of time. I mean, I used to get anxiety for days, and my body excuse me, my body has gotten conditioned from when I was young to be in fight, freeze, or fawn mode. And fawn is like people pleasing, and freeze is definitely a mode but my system is always on this self-defense. So, and it literally was living in that for like the first 30 some odd years of my life. So it's really hard to get the body conditioned to kind of relax and go into a more normal state instead of always being ready to flee. So I get it. I get the tension with all of this, but it is doable. I promise you it is. So yeah, check out my other videos. Alchemize Your Pain, Feeling Stuck, or the Unloved video. I'll put those in the link below. There's lots of other steps and things that you can do in there as well. And I'm also going to attach a goofy playlist that's kind of silly. It's called Cheese with Your Jam. So it's got some dancing stuff on there and some ridiculous songs to kind of help you get out of your head, get out of anxiety, out of stress. Just put something like that on and laugh it off, kind of break the pattern, change the channel, get off that frequency and onto a different frequency. All right, that's all I have. This is how we do on Show Me How to Live, and I love you guys.